Yeah. Welcome to this brand new episode of another Shitty Opinion podcast. This is your boy John and my co-host Bree, and we are here. There's a lot of stuff happens, Filming on a new day, give us an extra day of some news, especially with all the shit that popped off. Today, on the day we filming, but we won't get into that thing. But we're gonna start with what was the big news of last week was, obviously the slap that was seen around the world, but Will Smith got a 10-year ban from the Oscars. So 10-year suspension. So he resigned from the Academy and then got hit with a 10-year suspension. So I think he still be eligible to win an award, but he just can't go. I think that's how it works. But do you think that 10-year ban was excessive or not? Or you think it was just right, excessive, or more should have been done?
Who the fuck? Listen, it took him almost 20-something years to get an Oscar. Yeah. He didn't get another one. So he might as well. I just feel like I'm in the middle, Johnny, because as much as I want to say it's a bit excessive, it's not. You put your hands on somebody, and so at some point the repercussions of that has to be great. You put your hands on someone, like I put myself in Chris Rock's shoes, and I'm just like, yo, to be honest with you, he would have never made it off that fucking stage. Yeah. I would have beat his ass.
Chris Rock held some restraint.
Right. So with that being said, I don't think it's excessive. I think he more than getting 10 years, right? Getting more than 10 years and more than his movies being taken away from him, or be a lot of. I just feel like Will Smith needs to see somebody following this, because I think he has a lot of demons in the closet that he.
I think they say he checked into like a rehabilitation center to deal with like all the stress.
I hope
all the stress.
I hope he really
anger that he's dealing with.
And I hope he really did, because fuck the movies and fuck the 10-year ban on Oscars. Like, I think he just really needs to be able to fix whatever's going on in his life. And that's just the God-given truth. I wouldn't say it's excessive, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
he put his hands on somebody, Johnny.
Yeah, but supposedly they said Will Smith checked into in a rehab clinic. Supposedly he checked into like a high class rehab.
No, but what I'm telling you is, I want to say that everything that's happening to him is excessive, but it's not. It's not, Johnny.
Because it's just what he did is in a way is excessive, because for years to come, you could just go on YouTube and you'll be able to watch that every day. And then Chris Rock, for every day of his life, people who's gonna be saying, "Oh,
right,
smacked you." So it's like that's to a point that's excessive. One thing I said, I don't know about the 10 years. I don't know. I guess doing something on a big stage, a big platform like that, and it's like in front of the world to see. I guess I understand they have to lay the hammer down. Them putting his projects and movies on hold, I think that's a bit excessive. I think that's a little more excessive than the 10 year ban.
But
in my opinion, I
feel like, would you want somebody? But do you want somebody who's unstable mentally to be filming on your set, or to be filming with other people?
No, that's understandable. And if he has, I would say, if he has like a track record or a resume that leads to you to believe that he just did this, he just had that outburst, and he already has like a, something along the lines of like, I don't know if there'll be a right time to do a movie with him, then as a person who's invested in the movie and is trying to make the project succeed, I wouldn't want that on my project. But I feel like if he doesn't have any of that in his resume or like any rumblings of that, you let him film his thing. Like you let him film it out. But I feel
But
like
that's the problem, Johnny, is because he doesn't have a track record for this. And it happens just like that. It's if he had a track record, at least you can say, this is what we're going to expect with Will Smith. But because it happened like this and it's no track record, people don't know when he's gonna have another outburst. See, what Kanye
made it look like he's a bit unstable. Which
right.
He just got some stuff that he got to work on. But I don't think he's unstable. He just had.
I think he's a bit unstable, Johnny. I think the traumas, and I'm not blaming it just like, because he's unstable. I think the traumas that he's had in the last couple of years with Jada and his kids, I think it caused some kind of trauma, and he's unstable due to that. And so now that before, when he used to have these little outbursts on his interviews, he used to say things and it just, he said things. But now that it's turned violent, I think people now are not okay with having him on set. And I do believe he's gonna bounce back. I do believe that. But now, Johnny,
I definitely agree he's gonna bounce back.
Right, he's Will Smith, but I think he just needs to focus on not the movies part, but
I just think the fact
the
that
mental part of his being.
I would say I'd probably play a role. I think the fact that a lot of their relationship has become public over the years is something that I don't think it was ever part of their relationship, and like to have lines everybody want that Will and Jada love, right? So it's because no one really got to see. You just from outside they looked happy. Everybody perceived that they was happy. There was no inside details. It's all everything was speculation. But then the entanglement here, and then them becoming brutally honest and really telling the world what's going on with them, like actually telling the world. I feel like I don't think they do it, but I don't think they've handled it the best. I don't think they knew what they was preparing them. They wasn't really prepared to really give the world insight on their relationship and talk about, because at the end of the day, I feel like for a famous person, you have your famous stuff that you tell the world, and then you have your own personal stuff that's for you, and that's your personal. But I feel like for any person, you just have your own personal thing that's for you and not for nobody. It's who you should share it with. And the fact that they put it on the big scale for the world to see, I don't think it's because obviously everyone has their own opinion.
Right.
Positive or negative, everybody has their own opinion. And shit, the way social media works, you're probably gonna get way more negative comments than you're gonna get positive comments. So now you're putting your personal business out there, and then everybody got an opinion. No, and
but that's what I'm saying to you. I don't. But that's why I don't think this is excessive. I think I could really care, and I think everybody who's looking at, they took away his movies. I think I could care less about the movies. I could care less about the 10-year ban from Oscars. I think I want Will to be in a good space, mentally and physically, because I don't feel like he's been in a good space for a very long time, and I think he needs to get into a good space so he can get back to work and do what he loves. But in order to do that, I feel like he just needs to get into a space of
and I agree with you. I feel like why I feel like other stuff is excessive for the fact that give him the opportunity to like choose to get himself better than forcing it, because you're forcing don't mean it'll actually work. Let him choose to like,
but it did work.
It got him to go to it. Doesn't mean it's gonna be effective. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
It was a force. Like you can force someone to do something, but doesn't mean it's gonna like they'll do it, but doesn't mean it'll affect them in the way you want it to affect them. I just feel like letting him realize shit. There's a lot of shit going on. Let me finish this up, and after I finish this up, I'm gonna just take a break, work on myself. You know,
Right.
I feel like if he had the choice to do it, it would be better. That's why I feel like it's a bit sad. And then they digging up old clips now. Now amidst of this, they saying supposedly it was Jay was talking about how she never really wanted to marry Will.
But see, I said this to Devin before they brought up the old clips. I'm like, to me, Jada is the problem. Okay. I used to watch Red Table Talk because I used to love Red Table Talk. And in Red Table Talk, she talks about like the clips that you see now. I saw it when it was actually like happening, the episode.
When they actually showed it to the world. But
right.
And amidst everything that's going on.
Right. And so I said it before. I said Jada never wanted to be with Will. Because if you watch that episode of Red Table Talk, she never wanted to get married. She cried before she got married. Like she felt like he trapped her. And so again, I personally just feel like he needs to take a step back from Jada and all of this, even the movie productions, whether they the ones who said, we're not going to do it right now until he gets the mental health. I'm happy they did that because a lot of these movie companies, Johnny, a lot of these production companies, they're more worried about making money and making movies than worried about the person. And I'm happy that some of them came out and was like, yo, we wasn't gonna work with him until we know his mental state is in a better position. And I'm happy about that. Because you put people in these positions where their mental state. And I'm gonna give you an example. The Joker from The Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger.
Right. They knew he wasn't in the mind state to do that movie. But yet they let him do it because he was a good actor and he was going to kill the role. Did he kill the role? Yes. And he rest in peace, but his mental state was not in the space of doing that movie, Johnny. And we had called it excessive if we would have said they took that away from him?
Yeah, because what I'll say is because listen, when it comes to mental health, obviously there's obviously guidelines and what to follow, but sometimes with mental health, it is what it is. You go through what you go through, and something happens. For them to take it away from him, it would have to be something to warrant, like, oh, nah, you know what I'm trying to say? You can't take away something from someone because you feel like, oh, they might be out of it. Because you might be wrong or you might be right, but you don't know. I feel like that's just a slippery slope of things, but it's just unfortunate what happened, what took place with that took place. But I just think Will just needs to take a break from acting, in my opinion.
I do too.
But 10-year ban on the Oscars, I don't see it as bad, as excessive, but
he got his fucking.
You know what I'm saying? He did get his Oscar. They didn't strip him of his Oscar, but I just feel like I gave him a 10-year ban. It's cool, but I just feel like putting his projects on hold and all types of stuff. I think that's a bit excessive.
I don't.
I think it's a bit excessive, but they got a lot going on. Unfortunately, it's just all that stuff is out there for the world to see, but wish Will the best, and hopefully he'll come back from this. And when he comes back, I'll be looking forward to his new movie projects. But he did something that he shouldn't have done, which is unfortunate. It was something that should have never been done.
Oh, about something that should never been done. T.I. going into comedy should have never been done. That shit should have never been fucking done. Why are we allowed?
Hey, he's committed to it.
How you committed to it?
You said how he committed. That's what he wants to do. He's committed to doing comedy. But what I'll say
is because you got money and you're like, I want to just try this. That doesn't make you committed to shit, Johnny.
That is true, but for the most part, he seems legit committed to trying to.
He doesn't.
Well, he does. He does. But what I'll say is, I feel like with him, because it's just gonna be natural, there's a natural resistance to him because everyone looks at is like T.I., the rapper,
That's not true.
yeah, the actor.
That's not true.
No, I'm just saying like how would I say it? It's just like if you sit there and just take it at face value and just like take it at face value, just forget everything and just let him tell his jokes.
Yeah.
Jokes it.
You just can't forget people.
Hmm?
Huh?
Nah, you said something. I'm trying to hear. I didn't hear what you said.
You just can't forget who people are.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying. At that moment, just let him tell his jokes. Look at him as a stand-up comedian. Obviously, the perks of who he is was able to get him to do a show at the Barclays. Because realistically, comedians that just start out won't get that. You got to do gigs and smaller.
Right,
venues.
and that's how you know he's not committed. Because if you committed, you wouldn't take that big of a show yet. You would start from the bottom. Okay. He ain't committed, Johnny.
I think he's committed, but he's going about it at his pace and his steps. Because obviously, because realistically, all comedians go through rough phase. Like sometimes crowds is just tough. Crowds are tough. I feel like,
and that's why they start from the bottom. Period.
No, yeah, I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is, even the best of comedians got booed at one point, and then they worked their way and became what they became.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's gonna be the greatest comedian
in small clubs. They got booed in small clubs. If I would have paid to go see a comedian and T.I. came on the stage, I'm fighting. Because he's not ready to be on Barclays Center. I'm booing, I'm fighting, I'm getting my money back.
I wish him the best.
I'm just saying, when he turned into an actor, I was like, okay, let's give this a try. Because acting is not too far from, but
yeah, for the most part,
going into comedy,
rappers make that transition. That's like the natural transition for most rappers. You see rappers on TV shows and movies nowadays. It was just like the natural transition. Oh, I rap.
Drake made that happen.
You said Drake?
Yeah.
Tupac? Ice Cube? Tupac? Ice Cube?
No, I said Drake. I know what I said. I said what I said.
You said Drake. No. Tupac.
I said what I said. I said what I said. I said what I said.
Cool J, Queen Latifah.
I said what I said.
Do I name all the rappers? Drake started on TV, then became a rapper. He did the other way.
Right. He started for people to feel comfortable and to go into shows. And T.I. think he gonna open that door for
T.I. was doing movies before Drake even started rapping.
You a lie. You a lie. He did not. He did not.
Yes, he did.
He did not. No, he did not, Johnny.
Yo, ATL came out way before Drake started rapping.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
ATL came out in 2006.
You look at ATL, I'm gonna look at when Drake came to the music career. Go ahead. Look up ATL. Look up ATL.
ATL came out in 2006.
Look up ATL.
2006.
Cause you talking shit.
No,
I said what I said.
Got the movie before he came out.
No, he did. No, he did not.
ATL film 2006. March 28th.
So Far Gone is 2009.
That's the 3-year difference, Bree. 3-year difference. Like I said,
ATL did not come out in 2006.
March 28th, 2006.
ATL.
Yeah, March 28th, 2006, Bree. ATL came out a minute ago.
That's not what I got here.
Yeah, T.I. had that. Then he had the other movie that came out in like 2007. What was that movie?
I said what I said. I said what I said.
Shit. Get Rich or Die Trying even came out before Drake started rapping. The movie.
That's movies. Drake, listen to me. They went from rappers you're not listening. They went from rappers to actors.
Yeah.
Drake went from an actor to a rapper. Stage.
All right.
Right.
You
so
you
they're
said
not in the same category.
Because he went backwards. You said Drake made it. They made it comfortable for them to become.
And
actors.
he made it successfully.
No,
right.
he went the other way. They went this way. He went that way.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I said what I said. What I said. I meant what I said.
Drake,
I'm not changing it.
He has a great run, but he didn't make it comfortable for rappers to become actors. Rappers becoming actors way before he was in the game.
Yes, he did.
I named you 5 rappers, literally. Shit.
And they weren't good. They weren't
good.
good.
DMX, Belly. That's almost 10 years before.
That wasn't good.
That wasn't good. Okay. Nas and DMX. That's literally almost 10
I never watched Belly.
Never watched Belly. That's crazy. Never watched Belly. Never watched Belly? That's crazy. Sometimes some people.
I never watched Belly.
You said what?
I never watched Belly.
That's interesting. You should watch it. It's a good movie.
I'm not watching that. Listen, I said what I said. I meant what I said. And I just think that T.I. needs to stay as a rapper / actor.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that, but he's in the beginning stages.
And that's why he got booed.
Yeah, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. It's not.
It doesn't work.
No,
it is gonna hurt him.
How?
It is gonna hurt. He's mocking these people's craft, and when I say these people, I'm talking about comedians. He think because he got money, he could just do whatever he wants and take their craft as a joke. It's not a joke. People spend years and years and years perfecting their shit. Okay.
No, it's crazy to me. I feel like at a point, I felt like there was actors that felt that way about the rappers jumping into the acting world.
There you go.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I feel like for the most
I don't feel that way. I don't think that way.
Listen, yes, it was. Actors was definitely probably feeling the same way.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't, Johnny.
Yes, it was.
No, it was, Johnny. No, it wasn't.
We was in one round from conversation. I'm pretty sure actors didn't want rappers doing acting. I'm pretty sure.
I don't agree with that.
Because at the end of the day, you gotta understand, Bree, that's like you said, it's their craft. You're a rapper, you have your own thing you're doing. Actors have their craft too, so they look at their craft, they take it to they hold it to a high standard, and they probably felt like some of these rappers was just coming in off what they was doing over there and getting roles and stuff like that. They probably felt the way too in the beginning. Obviously, amongst time, there was rappers that proved to be dope actors, they could hold their own, they could actually act. While there's rappers that just get roles.
It's easier to go into acting than to go into comedy, Johnny. And that's just a proven fact.
I'm not arguing that. That's not what I'm arguing.
Right. So for T.I. to walk into the craft of comedians get a
tougher.
spot
it's tougher
on
because
Barclay Center, to me, is a slap in these people's face. And
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, just imagine in the beginning when rappers try to transition to actors, actors probably felt that same way. What I'm saying is, comedians gonna feel that way, and he's the first person to actually take this route. So it's gonna, off what happens with this, we're gonna find out if it's gonna work or is it not, because he's the first rapper to actually go this route.
You're not listening, Johnny.
I'm listening. But yeah.
I was trying to tell you, you're not listening to me. It's not about if he will make it in the industry or make it into that part or not. What I'm trying to tell you is that I feel like it's an insult to these people because he think he could just walk into this and spend them and throw cash and get the parts that a lot of these people have been working all their lives for. And because he's T.I. and he has the money, he throws the money. And now that spot at the Barclay Center, we don't know if that belongs to someone else who's been working their whole life.
And I agree with you. Seeing comedians need venues like that, that's how they know They moved up and they're this type of comedian that like doing an event at the Barclays or something like that. That's a top tier venue, you know, like that's
right.
It's like
So
20,
it's a slap in
it's
these
like
people's face,
thousands of
and
people.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's why I feel like he should start at the beginning and start at these little comedy clubs and do his little sets or whatever you want to call them, because it's not fair to the people who put in time in this craft.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you, but I'm just saying like it's still in the beginning. Maybe he needs to work around how he's going about it. Not through these big venues, not just yet. Like really go into these places and do it to how the other comedians.
Right.
Man, then that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying he's gonna become the greatest, but the more he work on it, he might be a decent comedian. People might really laugh at the shit he says. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. He's still early in his transition to stand-up comedy. Still in the beginning. Definitely in the beginning, but we're gonna leave T.I. and stand-up comedy where it's at, and we're gonna talk about. That's the first time I've ever seen some shit like this before. So LA basically banned travel for people in LA to go to Texas and Florida based off their bills, and like they feel like they lost bills that they passed that felt were targeting the LGBTQ plus community. But I've never seen where a state said its residents can't go to certain states. I've never seen anything like that, but they're banning travel to Florida and Texas, which is wild. I've never seen nothing like that in my whole life. I find that, I guess, you're taking a stand, you don't agree with the bills that they made, but I've just never seen that before, because at the end of the day, we are the United States. But how you tell people you can't go to a certain state, especially if they got family in that state? Like,
can we ban people too? Like LA is always doing something first. Like they the ones who've given the $900 to right? Yeah.
oh yeah, I was gonna get into that. It's a city in California that's gonna be paying their transgender residents $900 a month. It's a city. It's
right.
Palm Springs.
But let's just combine that all together. The state of California just, I'm about to move to California, so I could like I want to put a bill that I don't want people from
right.
from Buffalo to come to LA. Like, since they passing all these dumbass laws, I don't want only want people that like bees and turtles to come to LA.
Oh, so basically it's not the regular, it's basically businesses. It's like, so that's even worse. So I guess the regular people could travel, but say like you have a business and you have a potential big money deal that you can make in Florida or Texas, and for like small business, if you're a small business and this is like the extension that you need where you expand your shit and move on, you're not allowed to do business basically with those two states, which again is still the first time.
So how LA is gonna get the money to pay $900 to transgenders if they're not letting the businesses come into their state?
Well, the business will be able to go to the other states. It just can't go to that state and that state. Which is, like I said, this is some new shit, because I ain't never seen no shit like that before.
But that's what I'm saying to you.
But
how are they gonna make money, Johnny, if they don't allow these companies to come into their state? How are they gonna make money to pay $900 in transgender?
No.
And is it $900?
You just
excluding tax?
You can't do business. You can't go to Texas, try to make money and expand your business, and you can't go to Florida.
But that's what you're not listening, Johnny. If I can't go and bring you business in the state of California, how are they gonna pay these transgenders $900? And if it's possible, is the $900 taxed?
Probably.
I looked it up. It doesn't say if it's gonna be taxed or not.
It's probably going. they're gonna give you a bunch of it, and they're probably gonna give you the choice of you want to take tax out of this or not. It's gonna give you the choice, and then that's probably something you're gonna have to fill out when you file for your taxes the following year. It's probably gonna be you're gonna have to put, but they probably feel comfortable enough they can make the money with the other states. But also they did say they put aside like $200,000 for them to pay the $900 a month. They put away.
And what qualifies? How do you know it's not a gimmick? How do you know people did not going around saying I'm transgender, right? Because you really can't question people. So how do you know, right? Do you say, you know what, you don't look trans? Like, I don't know how that works. Because if that's the case,
I think as long as you identify as you be granted $900 a month. There's not really like certain rules. What they say is if you that's what you identify as, and that's what you, not more than just what they said, identify or you are. If that's what you are or identify as, you'll receive that check as long as you live in that city. You have to be a resident of that city. There's no strict, you have to been that from like this set date or none of that. It's just you tell them, boom, boom, boom. It's talk to them like, okay, that's what you are. That's who you are. And then they go. I guess you file the application. Boom, boom. And you get the money. They said set aside $20,000. So they giving away $900 a month. And also, it goes hand in hand with them doing the business ban travel because they feel like Texas and Florida are making bills that's targeting the LGBT.
They're gonna have a lot of people move to. They're gonna have a lot of people move to LA causing trouble.
Well, they'll probably. I'm pretty sure they know the amount of the population of the people that live in that city, and they probably have a good amount of the people who are transgender. So I'm pretty sure they have.
I'm moving to LA too, Johnny.
But listen,
I don't want to see no more Texas people either. Or Floridians. Is that how you say it?
Floridians, I think. Floridians. I could be saying it wrong.
Johnny, that's not how you said it. I said it right. Floridians.
I think it's Floridians.
I don't think it's Floridians. Oh, God, Johnny. You just want to argue.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying
you can't be wrong. I say you wrong.
All right, but I'm saying I could be wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
Floridians. I could be pronouncing it wrong.
Here you go.
I'm Googling it.
Go ahead, Google it.
It says warning for Floridians. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but that's how I'm pronouncing it.
There should be a little mic next to it.
This is a legit article. It says, how did you pronounce it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember how you pronounce it. But it's spelled Florida, it's Florid, IANS. I say Floridians. I think it's Floridians, Bree. It's Floridians.
It's Floridians. Floridians.
There's double I. There's double I's in it, so that's why I said Floridian.
All right, whatever.
I could be pronouncing it wrong.
I'm gonna move to California so I can not see Floridians. That's how I'm calling them. That's what they are to me.
Listen, but I guess California's taking a stand for for just cause, and they're gonna stand by their people, their residents, and the residents of the United States, because they feel like
because what they say, because they don't want people from that particular place. Not everybody from Florida and Texas is homophobic or don't believe in gay people. This is stupid. And then because of that, now you're gonna pay them $900.
Well, they're two different things. Two different things, but it's just
But
coincides with
right.
the topic because it goes.
What about the homeless people that's in LA right now who lives in tents? Why not give them some funds or money to help them? Jesus, like it's ridiculous. And you know what I'm talking about because you went to California. I know you. I'm pretty sure you saw all the homeless people that was there.
Yeah, but listen, that's how the government wants to give away their funds. They choose. They're the ones controlling the funds. That's how they want to.
I'm just saying to you, why not give it to the people who need it? But whatever.
Well, they feel like that community needs it.
I need it too. New York.
I'm pretty sure a lot of residents in America need a little help, but they feel like that community is the community that they need to help. But that we're going to transition. It's going to be a small topic. I just want to talk about it. It's one of my favorite shows on TV. I know you don't watch it, but you should watch it. They announced that season 6 will be its last season. And yes, I'm talking about Snowfall. I love
I can only talk about what my husband said. My husband said he's happy that it's ending at season 6. They're not carrying it over.
Some shows unfortunately don't end when they're supposed to. Some shows don't end when they're supposed to. Some shows need to like end when it's supposed to end, but they just don't end. They carry it on.
Like Walking Dead.
It goes from amazing to like, man, you're just a loyal fan, so you want to see how it ends. But yeah, Walking Dead used to be one. Used to love The Walking Dead, but I think they milked the cow too much. But people still watch it. It's not as much when I was watching it, but people still watch it.
Seven is one of them.
But I used to love that show to death. But it's just not the same no more. But I will finish that. Speaking of final season, The Walking Dead is shooting this final season. Like as we speak, as we're talking, the final season is airing. So that's probably got a few episodes. I'm so far behind. I don't even know how many episodes is left on the show, but it's definitely filming its final season. But it has planned prequels, spin-off shows, and movies coming in. But the original show is gonna end, but they're gonna keep it going. So that's the way it's ever gonna end. Snowfall.
I don't watch that. I don't watch Snowfall. Snowfall. It looked like it would give me an anxiety attack.
Yeah, when Snowfall ends, it's just gonna be like, damn. And it looks like it's gonna end on a high note, which is dope. That's all a fan wants is for their TV show to end on a high note.
When do you think Power, the series, is gonna end?
Like the whole universe? That I don't know. Mm-hmm. I just feel
that needs to end soon.
No, it doesn't. With the spin-offs, I feel like gave it a breath of fresh air.
I feel like that needs to end like next year.
Just not a fan of the Power Universe, but Power Universe is dope. Especially season 2.
You see, this is why I'm happy that Snowfall is ending the way Snowfall is. Because why do we need to have a Power Universe? What the fuck is a...
Because there's other characters that people want to see, and they got their own shows. The original Power Show finished. The original Power Show finished a couple of years ago.
I'm done.
Yeah, the original Power ended already.
I like that he's, again, Snowfall, the main character. I like that he's ending on this note so he could go do other things because he's going to be identified always as the, what's his name on Snowfall? What's his name on Snowfall?
Oh, Franklin.
Right. He's always going to be known as Franklin on Snowfall. And so I'm happy he's ending on this note so that he could be known as just, I don't know his real name, but as him and whatever else he does. So, because when you do a show too long, you become that character. And now, no matter where else you go, no matter what other movie you do, no matter what other show you do.
Yeah. That's one of the shows. That's one of the rules. Everywhere he goes, no matter what he does in the future, if he becomes a superhero or not. Oh, that's Franklin. Oh, look, Franklin. He's Franklin.
Right. So I'm happy he ended it now so that it gives him enough time if he wants to be something else or do a different movie. He just won't be known as Franklin. But there's a lot of people who just do the same roles that they known as that person from that role.
Yeah, lucky for Will Smith that his name in Fresh Prince was Will Smith, because it's not, people will be calling him whatever name they gave him in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
His name wasn't Will Smith in Prince of Bel-Air.
His name was Will Smith.
I
His name was Will Smith. It was Will. It was Will Smith. His name is legit Will Smith. It's just, you probably didn't hear his last name was Smith, but his name was legit Will Smith. And Fresh Prince. Obviously, his other side of the family had different names. The Banks.
I don't remember.
But Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, Will Smith played Will Smith.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying that would have
like,
been a role.
No, but see, I'm gonna give you an example. Like Tyreek from Power, he's always gonna be known as Tyreek. Like nothing else he does is gonna be like, oh, that's Tyreek. Or Tommy. Nothing he does is gonna be him known as Tommy, even though he's done other movies.
Yeah, but it's just nothing he's done so far is bigger than the Tommy character.
Yes, there is.
This is how
yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes,
what?
there is.
What?
Yes, there is.
What?
Yes, there is.
He ain't doing nothing bigger than the Tommy character.
Yes, he did. Yes,
what?
he did. Yes, he did.
What's bigger than Tommy?
He's been in Ozark.
Oh yeah, I watched him on Ozark.
He was in Jack Reacher.
It's not fucking with his Tommy character. His Tommy character is that's his character.
No, that's how I knew him from. The Reacher, Jack Reacher.
I seen him. He was on the episode of House. I seen him on the episode of Criminal Minds. I've seen him on a couple of episodes. Was it House? I think he was on the episode of House. It was House, but I seen him on the episode of Criminal Minds. But the role that really sticks and make people like, oh, it's the Tommy role. That's the big role. His role in Ozark. So I watched. Yeah, he's not fucking with the Tommy. He did his thing, you know. He was entertaining to watch, but Tommy is Tommy. But we're gonna leave, transition off that. We're gonna get into something that thought was all a joke, but turned out to be serious, and I don't even know where it's at. We're gonna talk, Gillie versus Weird, which was the last thing I think people will talk about. But Gillie said a joke, basically talking about how Wiz is always in his his training gear, and he's always posting himself training because that's what Wiz does. He trains, he just lives his life, not bother nobody. But Gillie said a joke. Gillie be joking around. This is just what Gillie do, but it seemed like that joke went a little. The joking just went left and went serious. But that's the last thing I expect from both of them, And the fact that,
why are you saying both of them?
No, because he just did the $1 million worth.
The $1 million worth of game.
Yeah, $1 million worth of game too.
So I love Gillie and I love Wallow.
I want to hear your take.
Because I love Gillie and I love Wallow. I love watching them. I love watching their content. Out of the two,
$1 million game is dope.
Yeah, that's probably the only part I watch, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I was saying. Hold on. I love Gillie. I love Wallow. Wallow to me is the most serious one out of them because he's been through some shit. Gillie, everybody knows is a joke. I watched their pod when it came out with Wiz. And you can tell Wiz wasn't really into Gillie's jokes and stuff. Like he laughed, but it wasn't like something like, and I get it. Not everything that Gillie does or say is everybody's cup of tea. But all he said to do was put some damn clothes on. And I agreed with Gillie because you have kids watching your IG and stuff like that. You got your son. You can put on this shorts that you can wear during those times of you doing all that kicking and punching the bag and all that shit. There's shorts you can buy for that, right? So I don't think Gillie said out anything that was inappropriate. I think what Wiz was doing was inappropriate. But then to turn around and say Gillie's trying to keep down the black man, when all Gillie does is care about black men and the hood and prospering black men. I think that he's trying to tarnish Gillie's character, saying that that's childhood trauma when Gillie never been through really no childhood trauma or.
He's just not as public, but dealing with his cousin being locked up for all the years. I'm pretty sure he has.
That's not the trauma he was talking about, Johnny. He was talking about trauma as like being a kid and having like sexual of like touching and stuff like that. That's the trauma he was talking about.
Think so? I don't think it's talking. I think I see it that I didn't read into it that way, but
that's the only way to read it. That's why he was saying, because Gillie called him out on wearing only boxers.
But that's what they use. That's what they wear to train. They wear them short shorts. That's how they train,
Right, but there's other short shorts you can wear other than those.
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's all about how comfortable they feel.
Gillie wasn't. But how saying that is Gillie keeping the black man down? It was a joke. And if you know Gillie, which I'm pretty sure he does because he went on $1 million worth of game, he knows he was joking. And then he took it so far to call him a bully and shit and get his page deactivated when he know that's his livelihood. That's Gillie's livelihood.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't expect it to get as serious as it got. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that's the last thing I thought it got like serious.
But it got serious like that because Wiz made it serious.
But I don't know. What I'll say is, because obviously, they had a little back and forth, and then Gillie's giving basically his side, basically revealing what they conversated about, and he's telling the world. Well, hopefully they get past this. I feel like it was.
They are. I don't think they are. I think Gillie's a nigga who. It's just like, we're not talking about that shit.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll talk it out. But
Gillie's a real nigga.
I'm saying I just feel like it was he tried to say something funny, but it's like sometimes your jokes don't hit, right? Like T.I. sometimes your jokes don't hit.
Gillie's jokes always hit.
I'm not. Gillie's funny. He makes me laugh. He said some funny shit. I was just.
Let me tell you something.
I was just trying to link everything we talked about today. It's it was a bad attempt of linking everything, but.
I get what you're saying, but see, the problem here is that because it was taken so serious and it was taken to like the point where his page was deactivated, it was taken to the point of where, like, to me, it was just unnecessary. I feel like Wiz can't take a joke.
Yeah. Wiz looks like the most laid back person, and he just looks like he be living his life unbothered. Sometimes people have their days where they're just sensitive. That's for everybody. It's just life. Some people just have their sensitive day. It's just like you say something and you just trigger something. It's just the day. And they had an off day. It happens. Everyone's human. Maybe you just had an off day. Because I thought like it was just just a little funny joke. It wasn't the funniest joke, but I thought it was just a little funny. I chuckled and that was it. But
when I saw it, I'm like, yo, Gillie. Because Gillie is the type of person you just be like, yo, you stupid as hell. And we move past it. We like, all right, you stupid. And then you move past the shit. But apparently not. Apparently.
But hopefully get past that and he'll make another appearance in $1 million worth of game where they could joke and talk shit about this is a little spat. We're just gonna call it a little spat, but something else that was big and new that went viral. Cam Newton. Usually we don't talk about sports on this. Usually, sports is for the OSA. I don't know. The Out of Shape All Stars. I thought I said ASO, but yeah, I said Out of Shape All Star podcast. But Cam Newton got people in their feelings with his statement. Did you feel what he said was wrong, or do you agree with what he said?
Before I said if I felt he was wrong, state a statement for the people who in the back who didn't read the statement or hear the statement.
Well, he said women call themselves boss. No, he's boss bitches that they don't even know how to cook, do stuff or know how to shut up when it's time to shut up. And he's basically that's like the words that really got everybody in what they gonna feel about the comment. And that's just like the short thing of the quote, because obviously it was a clip. It wasn't the full video, but that's the clip of it. And obviously, I don't feel like he was making a generalized statement. I feel like he was talking from his experience, in my opinion. But let you be the one to speak how you felt about his statement.
Yeah, I'm the type of woman. I don't think I'm a boss, but I do think I do know that I bring a lot. I ain't gonna say that phrase because I don't even like that phrase anymore. I'm a woman that I know I work hard for what I want and what I
What was
get.
the phrase you was gonna use? No, you know how I use it. I just want to know the phrase you was gonna use.
Oh, I don't like the phrase. What do you bring to the table anymore?
Oh, what do you bring to the table? Okay,
right. Because
I just want to know what you say, but you know what?
No, I don't like using the phrase anymore because I feel like in a relationship it shouldn't be what you bring in, what I'm bringing. It's what we building together, right? Mm-hmm. So what you bring to the table may not be what I like technically. You get what I'm saying? When you're in a relationship, what you bring to the table, I may not like what you bring to the table. Doesn't mean we can't build on, like, it's just stupid to me. So
obviously in a relationship, yeah. And if it's going good and you see a future for yourself, you have to make arrangements and adjustments where it works out for the benefit of both parties.
You should be wanting, You should be wanting to build with that person, not what that person brings and what you bring. No. So here's the thing. I think that I am a woman who I don't shut up. I never shut up. And if you know me for years, I give my opinion whether you like it or not. With that being said, do I know how to cook? Yes. Do I know how to clean? Yes. But that, even if I didn't know how to do that, I still wouldn't have shut the hell up. Because it's my right to speak what I want to speak on my mind. You get what I'm saying to you?
Oh, Sam.
And it's okay for a woman to feel like she's a boss. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are we so ready to encourage our young Black men to become entrepreneurs and own businesses? But the minute a woman does it, she thinks she's a boss. She thinks she's a boss bitch. She thinks she's that. Why can't it just be the same kind of emotions and feelings going into the fact that the woman, has created something for herself? That's one. And two and three, I think he's an idiot, and I want to see who he's dating and who's his wife. Because if that nigga ain't got none of them shits, he's not allowed to talk about women. Period.
Listen, I think he's speaking from experience. Obviously, I feel like he's just speaking. He probably dealt with some women that felt like they were boss women, and he just lacked certain qualities. And I think an overall spectrum of everything for men and women, obviously, there's now some men, some women overall lack certain qualities that you would need to be in a relationship. So, I just feel like he may not deliver the message right, but I feel like since he was talking about his experience and what he was experiencing, I don't think he was wrong. He could have used better words, but I just feel like he was speaking on what he experienced. I don't think his statement was generalized for everyone, but since he said what he said.
Did he say that when I was watching the clip, he didn't say this was my experience?
No, he didn't say it, but I just feel like that.
All right, so then you can't assume he's talking about his experience. A lot of these men are talking.
That's how I read into it because
Nah, when you talking about your experience, if I'm talking about a particular job, right? this is my thing. If I'm talking about a particular job and I say, okay, Johnny, I went through this and this and that at this place and this and this and that. And I don't say, well, this was my experience. I'm talking in general for that whole job. But if I say, Johnny, this was my experience at this particular place, then that leaves the door open to say, well, at that particular job, I didn't have that experience.
Which I understand. If you don't,
so if he dated someone, right. So you can't say this is his experience because he didn't say it. Most people, when they're having a general conversation, they will talk genuinely. Like everything will be general.
Yeah,
but he did not say. This is my experience.
I think the statement's a little more like one of the more obvious statements that the women he deal with obviously can't cook. He feels like the women he dealt with don't shut up when they're supposed to. I think that's.
But he didn't say it's my experience, Johnny.
He did say.
So you can't assume he's saying my.
That's just how it comes off. That's how it comes off.
How people talk, you can't. Again, you're assuming.
No, I'm not. That's really how it came off. It's not assumption because it's just
how
like
it came off. Anybody. I can say this is how it looks. This is how it sounded. But that's me assuming that's how it sounded. That's how it looked. Until that person firmly confirms, this was my experience. This is what I went through. You can't say, well, I think that's what that person
It's not an assumption because it's like.
But it is.
It's not.
But it is.
It's not because I feel like that's the statement in itself was like an obvious statement. Because realistically, anybody can say anything about anything. I could say it's just a generalized statement, and it'll be generalized. But I could sprinkle in a little of my experience into the statement and say it's a generalized statement, and boom, it'll come off as he's generalizing the statement, but it's a little of what he went through or what he spoke upon about it. I feel like that's how it came off. Because I feel like the way he said it is just like, that's just the women he dealt with, in his lifetime. The women he dealt with, obviously, he felt like the women he dealt with claimed to be something. And to him, he didn't perceive them to be what they was claiming to be. Not saying, because that's his side of the story. Doesn't mean, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because shit went wrong don't mean what he's saying.
I'm just saying, I feel like it wasn't from what he experienced. It's just what he thinks women are, Johnny. That's what I believe. Because if so, he would have said these are my experiences.
I don't think that's what he thinks women are, but
okay, I do.
But then that would be the same thing you just told me, Bree. That's the same thing. That's the same thing you just told me.
Right, because he kept it general. He didn't say this is what I experienced. He kept it general. So when you keeping something general and you're not saying, this is what I think or I experience or I feel, then you're making it general for everybody, Johnny. That's the difference. He made it he didn't clarify nothing and say, I, this is my. He just kept it general. So when you keep something general, you give people that space to say, this is about everybody. This is how he feels about everybody. If he would have said, this is my experience, then of course I would agree with you and told you he's just a dummy, or this is who he's attracting. These type of women are who he's attracting. This is why when I hear girls say,
that probably is the women who he is attracting. Realistically, that probably is the women he's attracting.
When I hear women say, I don't want no more fuck boys, and you go, well, how many fuck boys did you have? I had like 6 fuck boys. Well, then you're attracting the fuck boys. The fuck boys are just not attracting you, dumb. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I feel like he kept it general. This is how he feel about all women, because he never once said this is what he's experienced. This is how he feels about the situation. He made it general, like he's trying to teach women and men something. Bitch, have a seat.
All I'll say is, it's a short clip. Maybe there'll be an extended clip that comes out and we'll get more context. But that's how it came off. I think he's talking about his experience with women and the woman he dealt with. I just feel like sometimes, even if the statement sounds generalized, I don't feel like sometimes you have to input your experience because
Yes, you do.
No, because
yes, you do. When you talking about the other sex, yes, you do. That's like me saying all Latino men are stupid, cheaters, and thieves. Bitch, have you experienced that with all men, all Latino men? No. If I said
my point
in an interview, this is what I've experienced with Latino men, then it's like, okay, well, maybe that's just your personality, or maybe you need to change, or maybe you need to find somebody. But if I just genuinely say Dominicans are all cheaters, thieves, and liars, you're gonna say, well, why all what?
I'm not gonna say they all are, but I'm obviously saying you obviously dealt with one that did that to you, and you're
not gonna think like that, Johnny. Nobody thinks like that.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm done.
That's how I process it. You used to say that. I'm gonna say, like, obviously not all of them is that, but you dealt with one that basically poisoned your view for.
No, I've never heard nobody.
That's how I think, though. That's how I think. That's why I said when he says it, that's how I would perceive it. If you used to say that, that's how I would perceive it. I'd be like, okay, she, one or two might have did her wrong, and now that's how she feels about one or two, and she's letting the way she feels about one or two carry how she feels about the rest of the population. And obviously, the rest of the population is not what you're saying they are. It's just the ones you dealt with. Is that's how I would respond to you if you used to say that. Honestly, that's how I would respond to you if you used to say that.
Okay.
But it seems like hopefully we get a longer clip and we get more context. And
I'm watching that dumb nigga talk.
But we get more context and it proves your point. I'll backtrack, but get more context.
If it does, I want an apology on the pod because you over here talking about it's his experience. So
I think that's how I perceived it. Okay. But we're filming this episode on a Tuesday, and we happen to be New Yorkers, so this morning, a lot of people, especially, New York is one of the busiest city, if not the busiest city in the world. And for the most part, everybody does take public transportation, and everybody's on the train. It's always crowded, especially in the morning times. But the crazy shit happened. So some guy dressed up in a construction vest, gas mask, went on the train cart, threw some smoke grenades in the cart as the cart was moving, and ended up firing, shooting people, which is probably one of the craziest things I've heard in my existence of, being born and living in New York all my life. But that shit was just crazy. And luckily, because they just said a few people was in critical, or one or two people was in critical condition, which prayers and fasting for everyone.
Didn't one die?
Not that I know of yet. I think everything is still like people still in the hospital, still being dealt with it. I think they said 5 people were shot, and then the rest was just like injured from I guess people running away, getting trampled, and dealing with the smoke. Whatever this was in the smoke, dealing with that. So they said 10 to 13 people were transferred to the hospital. But I was just seeing aftermath for that whole situation looked crazy. I don't know what's going on, but that's just crazy. That happened at 8:30 this morning. That's crazy.
Which is crazy because to me, I don't take New York transit, right? I take New York Transit. Hold up. I don't take the train.
You don't take the subway, but you take Metro North.
Right. And I take the bus. I take a bus, right? So listen, and people was like, Sabrina, thank God you took the Metro North. And I'm like, but that still makes you nervous because on the Metro North, there definitely is nowhere else to go. At least with the train, if the doors open in between the tunnels, you can run through the tunnels and run to safety. With the Metro North, it's a little harder because
stops is longer.
Right.
Stop in between each stop. Yes.
And especially the stop for the Yankee Stadium, because I take it from the Yankee Stadium to Yonkers. And so each stop is like a long distance. Like You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah,
It's a longer distance. So I'm just like, what world are we living? What world are we living in where you could have been? Some people could have been doing this trip every day, same time, same fucking train, and the one you on there this one morning, and I can't
You
because
know, it's
I feel
crazy
so
because
bad.
like shit.
Now they traumatized.
Yeah, a couple of it was kids going to school, people going to work. It's the morning time. It's like the peak. Everybody's on
Right.
the train, so it's like, and then
That's
for
what I'm saying.
it didn't even happen on the platform or entering. It actually happened in the cart where, for the most part, you can't go nowhere till the train stops. So it's like
Right.
you have to wait till the train to stop at the next stop to escape. I'm seeing the footage, the doors open, smoke coming out the car, people just running.
Right. The PTSD that these kids, these adults are gonna have. I haven't. I wasn't even on the fucking train. Like I'm scared now to take my son on public transportation right now. Like I'm nervous. Like if I don't have money for a cab, I'm not doing it because I can't. I can't. Like
It's like, and especially with how the violence has been up on the train for this year, like the violence, everything that's been taking place, and then for that to happen, it's like, wait, time out, what just happened on the train? Like, that shit
right.
crazy. That's just like, obviously living in New York, we've lived through some stuff and
Right.
stuff like that.
And the fact that he got away, like he escaped and they're looking for him makes me even more nervous. Like
So it's like, it's like, shit, is he planning more? They don't catch him. Do we got to worry about him getting on another train and doing it to another train? So it's like, it's a lot of stuff. So it's like, and especially it's fresh because literally we're filming on the day it happened this morning. We're filming on Tuesday. So it happened this morning, but it's like, damn. It's horrible, but for the most part, it seems everyone I think they said 2 people's in critical condition, but for the most part, everyone else was obviously injured, but their condition stable and able to, then it's just we gotta see what happens with the people that was in critical. But wishing them the best and prayers to all of them and loved ones. But that's just crazy. I love my city. Obviously,
just be careful on Saturday, Johnny, when you're taking the train into the Bronx.
I'll be catching a Uber.
But Uber doesn't go from Roosevelt Island to the Bronx.
Yes, it does.
But you on the island.
Yes, it does. Everything connects. Uber there, Uber back. I'll be an Uber. And you know what's crazy? Saying that? They said there was a surge in like the prices in Uber today while that incident was taking place. And I seen on the news they said they're gonna refund everyone that got like a price hike for their Ubers because nobody wants trying to take the train. I seen that on the news. I'm like, damn, they started charging people. Well, that's crazy.
Well, if it rains, they charge people extra for Uber and Lyft.
No, but that's I'm saying? That's different. But there was a legit emergency, and people couldn't get to where they wanted to because everything was shut down. People still had to get what they had to get to. So it's like that situation is a little different. I understand them charging more for rain or whatever weather purposes. That's understandable. Or you're choosing to do this in the rain, or you're choosing to get this in the snow. We're gonna charge you this, that. But for them to make it like a surge, some wild craziness is happening. It's wild, but that's crazy. Crazy stuff.
I'm praying for those people, man.
Pray for the people and pray for New York, because
New York's been crazy.
New York's been in a dark spot these pandemic
last couple of years.
Yeah, I would say the pandemic years. I feel like that pandemic years has been the year that it really
has affected people.
Yes, so I feel like
this mental state.
Yes, I feel like this has increased, or it's part of the reason why the crime is where it's at. It's the pandemic, and we're still coming off of it. People still catch COVID left and right. The man
Well,
tested
actually,
positive.
COVID cases have went down. Like,
Yeah, I'm saying, but the man did catch COVID though. He tested positive.
That's because he can't say
2 days ago. Tuesday? Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago. He tested positive for COVID. So, which is interesting. But like I said, we're coming
like
off.
the flu.
You know what I'm saying? But we're coming off the pandemic, so it's like not everybody, everyone was affected by it differently. And this is just like the after effects and what New York is really feeling. Is really feeling it. But hopefully they get it together, fix New York up. It's a beautiful city. Love my city. But, quick thing, we don't it's on another City Opinion podcast, our Fab Four, where we give you our 4 favorites of pop culture, entertainment, music, everything that we did movie quotables. But on this week's Fab Four, in light of my man T.I. had his stand-up comedy experience where he got booed off stage, I felt like, let's do our Fab Four stand-up comedy special. And I got my 4, Bree, you got your 4. I'm going first, or are you going first? How we going?
I'll let you go first.
And I'm gonna just read off my whole list, my 4. You ready?
I don't know if I'm ready because you know how you be doing it.
What does that mean?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've had some decent lists.
Okay, go ahead.
I had some decent lists.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What list you felt like out of all lists you felt like was my worst list before I get
when you had Beyonce mad low? But go ahead. I mean, because you always put Beyonce low, so I don't really fuck with your list.
That's not true. She is who she is. She's top tier. But all right, at number 4, I got Cat Williams' Pimp Chronicles. At number 4.
I like Cat Williams.
Yeah,
okay,
poor little Tink Tink. That's when he said the poor little Tink Tink. At number 3, which could have been replaceable. I could have even swapped Cat Williams, put at number 3. That could have probably been pushed over my list. I did Laugh in My Pain, Kevin Hart.
That's actually okay. That's number 3 on my list too. Okay.
That's crazy, but that's my number 3. At number 2, I went Block Party, Dave Chappelle. Block Party, Dave Chappelle, and then number 1, I went Delirious, Eddie Murphy.
Oh my God, Eddie Murphy's number 4 on mine. Delirious.
That's my list.
I thought Eddie Murphy was hilarious.
Definitely was.
I mean, I'm not big of Dave Chappelle, but like Eddie Murphy was Delirious was number 4.
Okay.
Laughing at My Pain was
your number 3.
Number 3. This is where it got difficult because this is how I felt. Like, I loved Kings of Comedy.
Oh, I almost put Kings of Comedy on my list. You said Kings or Queens?
Kings, not Queens. Kings.
Nah.
Bernie Mac,
Bernie,
because that shit,
Steve Harvey. That's one of the great specials to me.
That was number 2 because that shit was fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna put them on my list. Shit. Bernie killed that shit. They all did thing, but Bernie shit was
I feel like Bernie really killed that fucking shit. Like Bernie took over and was like.
No, I'm saying, yeah. To me, I think Bernie was out. If you had to rank 1 through 4, like out of the Kings, and that for that show, I think Bernie was number 1.
And okay, so number 1 for me was Def Jam Comedy. Their specials.
Or as a whole, yes, they've had some good specials. Yeah.
Because I feel like they put a lot of people on, and their shit was just I've never watched Def Comedy Jam and not laughed. Johnny, and not laugh. I felt like they were.
They've had some
like,
great specials. Can't lie. Def Comedy Jam. I've seen some shit over the years. When I first seen Michael Blackson on Def Comedy
yo,
Jam,
he was
that
funny
shit,
as
that's the
fuck.
first time I ever seen Michael Blackson like Def Comedy Jam special. And
I was very upset with Michael Blackson because Devin was like, one day we were saying I was watching him in his accent, in his African accent, and Devin was like, that's not really his accent. I'm like, you're lying, that's his accent. And then I went to go look him up. He has a regular fucking voice.
Yeah, he's from Philly.
Yo, that shit pissed me
He's from
off.
Philly,
So you just been insulting Africans this
But
whole time.
but that's his. Like, I'm trying to say he's actually African, but he's just that's how that was his his gimmick, his shit. Nah, his shit was still hilarious.
Nah, Def Comedy they really have some hits. I don't think like I said, I don't think I've ever watched one of their specials and didn't fucking laugh. Like, they hilarious. And so that's why my list is what my list is. Eddie Murphy's
Delirious. Delirious.
Yeah, I find it funny, but there was parts where I'm just like, okay, this is old time, like
obviously.
after.
Yeah.
But other than that, Kevin Hart's all his specials except for the last one was top tier. Like, to me, people were saying a lot of stuff from there, like they would take it and like all right, like that was said for years. Like,
I feel like that's part of why I added it to my list. I feel like some of the shit that was said in that comedy special, people were saying everywhere, like it was being said.
Right. But that's my list. I love my list.
I love my list too.
I wish Beyonce would go into comedy.
Yeah.
So she could take over the world, Johnny.
Well, she could, right? She could do it, right? If T.I. tried it, why not? She could try if she wants to, right?
But T.I. don't know how to do it right.
He opened the door. So now, if anybody else in that side of the world want to take their chance at it, take their crack at it.
But the difference here is that if she takes a crack at it, she's gonna win it. Because she's Beyonce. T.I., he suck.
Well, he has room for improvement and he'll get better. But
yeah, whatever you said.
With that being said, that's a wrap on this brand new episode of Another Shade Opinion podcast. It's your boy John, my co-host Bree, and we are